#1 recording studio. Listen vision, listen vision. DC's 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 #1 recording studio.
All right. Welcome to the Swerve Show. Oh, we are a little packed in here. I guess, is that enough for us? Okay.
We're close.
That's actually better. You can see more of us. Welcome. It is August 7th. Yeah, turn your volume down. Thank you very much, Yarday. At August 7th. This is our first show in August, isn't it?
It is our first show in August.
Oh, wow.
All right, man. Summer is moving.
Wow.
I'm Jamil Fletcher, the publisher of Swerve Magazine. I have on my left Tony Nelson.
Hello.
Hello. And Summer, why are we cutting Tony off? What we going? Come on, get closer, y'all. Come on, get closer. Get tight. And the mahogany, is the mahogany?
That shirt is everything, Jamil.
Oh, you like it?
That is
Somebody else liked
everything.
it. Anyway, and this is your day noir.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
All right. Uh-oh. Did we get paid for that? No. Who's that, Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix. Yeah.
He is. In a prideful, rainbowish thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so welcome to the Swerve Show. We have our July, August issue. Do we have that slide, PJ? All right.
We do.
Ta-da.
With the amazing Giselle. Yes.
Right.
I like the way y'all say that. Y'all say it with so much conviction and
Giselle.
so much gayness.
Yes.
Over.
Giselle Barbie.
I mean, the curves are just like mountainous.
Yes, you know how they do.
Right. Anyway,
beautiful.
So hopefully everyone has checked out that issue. Of course, we have advertising opportunities both within the magazine and for the show.
Yes.
And
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Is my mic on?
in the magazine and for the show, and if you want an advertisement, what do they have to do?
Call me with a budget.
What a budget.
Or contact Jamil at swervemagazine.com.
I was told to tell you that Strong J. Kelly said I still have a budget.
Okay. Well,
So
how
what
do I
is it?
connect with it?
Just reach out to her.
I don't have her contact. Can you give me a contact?
I'm gonna give you her contact
Okay.
today.
Okay. All right. Is my mic on? I don't hear myself.
I can hear you.
Can you turn me up? Turn me. Huh? Turn me up. Oh, that's even better. That's better. Okay. All right. All right. And then so let's get it moving. Well, what do you folks have? What's going on? Do you want to start your day? What's hot?
Well,
What's going on with
I'll
you?
go. I'm super excited. This year, I have been asked to be the beauty director for Indie Fashion Week here in Washington, D.C.
That is fierce.
So I'm super
Ooh,
excited.
Tony, so you know we gonna be VIPing at the Indie Fashion Week.
I've,
And that's this weekend?
When
No,
is
it's
it?
not. It's not coming up. It's coming up in September. So I've known it. I mean, we've had the conference that was approached a couple of weeks ago. So I knew about it. But the official announcement went out today, literally this
Do
afternoon.
you need team? You need a staff? I can point. Tell people to go here, sit down. You shut up, and you stand up, and
We're getting ready to go into a full series of meetings, so I don't know what I'm gonna need yet, but I will soon.
we'll come and coordinate.
So
Won't we, Tony?
I'm super excited about that. Indie Fashion Week was started maybe 4 or 5 years ago by Holly Morgan and Righteous Ones Entertainment.
Congratulations.
Which is here based out of DC. So I'm really super excited to be working with them.
So
Those
can
are
you
my
beat-
babies.
Will you beat us for the
But not if I'm
shows?
working. I'm gonna beat you.
But I
at
mean, beat
work.
us before because we're gonna be
Get us beforehand.
right.
Okay,
And we'll
I
come
got you.
and we'll show you where we want to sit on the runway.
Hot ass mess.
Tony, we at the Indie Fashion Week. Okay. Anyway,
We going.
yes, we are.
I got my little outfit already.
I know you
Okay.
do.
Well, you do, but I need some
I know.
clothes.
You
So
keep-
what's going on
you
with
keep
you?
an ensemble.
Doesn't Tony?
So, I have a lot of little fun things coming up this weekend. I'm so proud to announce this
so
weekend.
busy.
The leg of Black National is a pageant
Yes.
system that's founded right here in Washington, D.C. But there's really, I've been with Black National since pretty much it started. But 10 years ago, I started a arm of Black National, which is called Black National Prince and Princess.
Oh,
And
I
it's
didn't know
kind of-
that.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
yours?
He was the founder.
Well, we need to be
And-
promoting that.
Yes, that's what we're about to do right now. So Black National Prince and Princess, the objective was to mentor young entertainers that wanted to try to get a jump start and try to help mentor them. That was the main goal. Miss Teresa Beavis Jackson
Hey, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
bankrolled it, and it's been going. This is the 10th anniversary this Sunday.
Right.
And it's going to be held at the legendary
Ziegfeld's
Ziegfeld's nightclub
On Sunday?
on Sunday. And
What time? I'm here.
Doors going to open at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Pageant time 6:30. It should be a lot of fun. I'm inviting everybody to come out and help us celebrate our 10 years.
Hey, JJ.
And help us and just help us fill up the place.
Is it ticket price? Is it
Just
free?
pay at the door.
Okay.
It's $20 at the door.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a lot of fun. We really
6
want-
o'clock. You don't have a flyer? Send me a flyer so I can post it on our page.
I sure will. I'll send you a flyer. Teresa, can you email us a flyer? I know you're watching. Email us a
She's
flyer, and then we'll post it on the page, and we'll put it up on the show if we can before the show is over. If we have some time,
Yeah, we could do that.
we can put it up on the show. But it's going to be this Sunday, and we invite as many people in town and people I know. We get a big following from places like Baltimore and
Norfolk
and Norfolk. We invite you all to come. It's really important to come because this is the first time that a black system has. This is history because there's never been a black pageant held at Ziegfeld's.
Really?
Never.
Well, Ziegfeld's is getting blacker
Never.
and blacker. Yo,
And
this is
so-
becoming the new meal. Is it Ziegfeld's
so-
the new master's meal?
And so we got it based on a relationship that I had built with Stephen, one of the managers, and the relationship that we have with Darryl Wilson
Mm-hmm.
and the crowd and the following that we built. So you know, when black folks go in places, we have to work 2 times harder.
And they said it
Till they
would
realize
never
our money-
happen.
Till they realize our money spent
And
just
they
like
said-
everybody else.
And that's not, and that,
And they said it would never happen.
and that's not meant to be a read. That's meant to be. That's just
The truth.
That's a fact of life.
Mm-hmm.
And so we invite you all to come out. We ask you to come out and support.
So this
the
is
system.
this Sunday
This
in
Sunday
Washington D.C. at
At
Ziegfeld,
Ziegfeld's, we have a lot of
6 p.m.
We have a lot of folks traveling from all over the country to compete for the title of
Who's
Mr. and Miss Black National
Is
President.
Miss WTF title, is that up for grabs?
No.
No.
That's not up for grabs.
She's Miss What the Fuck
That's
forever.
not up. That's not up for grabs
And,
next
that,
week.
and just FYI, that pageant will be hosted partially by myself, Miss What the Fuck, and Rio Blue.
Okay.
Who is
Rio-
phenomenal.
I don't know
By the
Rio
way,
Blue.
who
Who's
is
amazing
phenomenal
on the microphone.
On the
Okay.
microphone.
And we're looking forward to that evening. And of course, we have coming back up not this Friday, but the Friday after next. I'll be back at
At
Ziegfeld's.
Ziegfield's. Is it, so you said it's every Friday
We are
now?
looking at every Friday.
Starting September, correct?
I think September.
We
but
need a flyer
let's
with your
say-
image on it.
So we're going to start. We're
we
going
can
to
get
start. Teresa and I are going to start working on flyers, and we're going to start pushing them on the Swerve show. Y'all know I'm a little shy about flyers. And
Don't
stuff.
be shy.
But
You'll get over it.
and finally,
And make sure you put Capital Pride Honoree 2019.
2019. I have a couple other things. I'm racing tonight. I have to say that, of course, we're going back to Mr. Henry's the 4th Sunday of August. That's going to be a huge day with Strong J's Lipstick Review. And I'm going to be judging the Impulse So You Want to Be a Drag Queen pageant.
Oh, isn't
Oh,
that?
they're doing that?
That's
They're
like
doing
August. That's like August.
Impulse DC. That's in
22nd.
DC.
Yeah, it's like a Thursday, right?
It's a Thursday.
Yeah.
With my sister racing.
Okay.
We're going to be there, and I'll be back in Petersburg in September.
For the mob
For
wise,
my
right?
friends, the Mob Wise. We're going to be back.
Yo, I tell y'all, DC's the gayest city in the country. So if you want to be happily gay and everything, you just come here.
Are we?
Just come here.
Oh yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we are. We are. And
We
the mayor has said so.
She would know.
Anyway, what's going on with you? Oh, you already told me. What's
Yeah, I
going on
already
with
said
you.
what's happening. with me.
Nothing's really happening with me. I'm just happy to be kind of chilling. So let's go to news. Let's keep it moving. All right. So, yes. So news. We had another mass shooting too. El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio. What are your thoughts?
And today they found that they had a gunman in McLean at the USA Today and Gannett.
at the newspaper.
That happened today. I don't know what happened. I know that it happened earlier, and they made the announcement on CNN.
Come on, speaking of my.
They made an announcement earlier on CNN that they had a gunman who was on the loose at the USA Today.
Well,
in McLean, Virginia.
that a lot of the pundits kept saying they expect. Well, the FBI experts they expect more over in the next few weeks. More
Well, I think
incidents.
we're at war.
Is that what you think it is?
We had a
yeah.
domestic
Oh.
war. We are.
Oh yeah, this
It's-
is a civil war.
Child, it's a hot mess.
This is a civil war, but it's crazy because we want to blame the president, and I don't want anybody to yell at me, but I just the president is just saying what.
Always been there.
Right. He's
Always
just
been
being
there.
their vehicle.
So you can't say this
Hey,
started
bro.
with him.
Hey, Bam.
You all are using him as your excuse, and don't be shocked. We know how
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people feel, and because he's the mouthpiece, and because now he's the mouthpiece of how people feel. Now they feel justified in saying
And they feel empowered to come out publicly.
and then tell you, oh, I'm not a racist.
now, did he go to El Paso today? I hadn't had a chance to see the news.
Yeah, he actually went.
And I know they protest. I figured they would.
Well, I had a couple of things about this whole situation that just.
Speaking to the mic. Yes,
There are a couple of things that irritate me. Well, first, like Tony said, that we've always known these things have always been they've always been present. It just took somebody like Trump to be the mouthpiece.
Well, this is like the ultimate backlash to Obama.
It's
whole
the great
thing.
blacklash.
Right,
I've been
right.
saying
but
that.
it's that last little bit of
It's-
something because the country in 4 more years is browner and browner
What
and
It's
browner.
the
bothers-
gasp is the last gasp.
What bothers me though is that all of these white men run around shooting up people, but nobody wants to call them terrorists.
Well, they are now.
Well, they are now. And they are now. I think even Trump said terrorists.
Did he say terrorist? He said white supremacists. I know, but I didn't hear. I didn't know he said terrorists.
He said terrorists, and I know Kellyanne Conway said. He said,
She irritates my ass.
Well, the thing is,
she's doing her job.
You know,
she's doing a damn good job at it. She's spinning.
Well, that's,
we don't like it.
She spins so much that she contradicts her contradictions.
But you know what? She keep it. But watch it. She
keep it moving.
She keeps it moving.
She does. But I'm like, God, the lie is chasing you all over in circles.
But she does exactly what Trump does. So you're stuck here. So while you're stuck here, I'm gonna go over here and do something else stupid and crazy and
Pretty
dumb,
much.
And then you're gonna shift the focus, and now you forgot all about that.
I'm waiting for him to bring Hillary Clinton's name back up again.
What did you all see? But did you all see what really pissed them off? What Mariah Carey did?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I didn't see what Mariah
Hillary
Carey
Clinton
did.
and Hillary Clinton and
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton came to her show, and she said, "Oh, what an honor that President Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton."
No. She said it was an honor to have President Clinton here, and her husband. And her husband, President Bill Clinton. That's what
she's looking like this.
Right. Slay. I said yes.
Ultimate.
Get her.
And apparently, she had said before, "Oh, I don't acknowledge that man in the White House."
Who, Mariah or?
She said that she doesn't acknowledge.
Or Hillary.
She was talking about George Clinton. Mariah said, "I don't acknowledge that man in the White House." Well, the Trump supporters are trying to light her up on her Twitter page, and she's unbabothered.
Right. She's like, see y'all in Vegas. Make sure you paid for your tickets.
Mariah's too paid to be bothered. Baby, when I tell you that she is.
So the other thing, I did have was Obama's tweet slams Trump. Do we have an image? I think we have an image. Did y'all read his tweet? Oh my God. I wish I should have brought it because it was the ultimate read. And he really talked about how a person the leader we need would never share the sentiments that Trump did around partisan, and he called for everyone, no matter what your party affiliation, no matter what your race, creed, color, faith, whatever, everyone needs to come out unequivocally against it. And he didn't mention him by name, and I mean, Trump was furious.
Well, then Trump was furious, and also Fox Morning News, what is that show he likes to go
Fox.
on Fox?
Do you watch that?
It's regular Fox. But it's a whole network.
But they were showing it on Stephen Colbert. They were saying, and Obama said that he da-da-da-da. It's like Stephen Colbert said, no. Obama never said that he was a racist, but you just did.
Okay, right.
You just did.
Right.
So
if it ain't true, then take the sign down.
Take the sign down. Stop, but like Lord. I said, they're having that last big gas.
This is it. But so another thing, and we'll talk about, one of our topics I said for the night was about voting, and we'll get into it a little bit later. All right. So the other thing that happened, of course, y'all.
This took me out. And she was 88.
88 years old.
I didn't realize she was deep in her 80s.
Yeah, she was deep in her 80s, and she was just a brilliant wordsmith.
And what's interesting is last week I told y'all that I just went and saw the documentary last week.
Right. You saw it? I
saw it,
and I wanted to run the trailer again.
It's
Do we want to run it again?
We should.
Yeah.
Let's run the trailer again, and we'll come back and talk about it. Mute our mics afterwards.
My grandfather bragged all the time that he had read the Bible, and it was illegal in his life to read. Ultimately, I knew that words have power.
I wanted as many people who could hear my voice to understand the importance of her work. Get people to trust, this is something safe, and then, bam, hit them with Toni Morrison.
One of them early reviews says she's got a great talent. One day, she won't limit it to only writing about black people. Like, really, it's limiting for her to write about black people?
People began to buy Toni Morrison, and then we began to teach her, and as a consequence, they had to pay attention.
You'd sick unto death of being labeled a black writer.
I prefer it.
Oh, I thought you probably were tired of it.
Well, I'm tired of people asking the question.
Oh, yes, of course.
I don't know where this woman's energy came from to raise two kids, to bring other people of color to the party, and also write these novels.
Toni was an editor at Random House.
Navigating a white male world was not threatening. It wasn't even interesting. I was more interesting than they were. and I wasn't afraid to show it.
Suddenly, the canon wasn't the private property of white male writers.
I've thrown this book across the room and then walked down the steps laughing. Like you read Tony and you cry, but you gotta laugh.
Texas Bureau of Corrections banned Paradise because it might incite a riot. And I thought, how powerful is that?
When Toni Morrison published Beloved, it was an extraordinary turning point. We can never think about slavery in the same way.
A friend of mine called me up early in the morning and said, Tony, you won the Nobel Prize. And I remember holding the phone thinking, she must be drunk.
Toni Morrison's work shows us through pain all the myriad ways we can come to love. That is what she does, with some words on a page.
All right.
The Toni Morrison documentary. Please go see it.
You've seen it. Move over.
It was.
You've seen it.
It was really good. It was really good. I'm just a documentary whore anyway. I love documentaries.
Can't you just be a documentary fan?
I'm a documentary whore. I'm a documentary whore. And I love documentaries. I did not know Toni Morrison's background. And so then once I found out that not only was she an editor for other people's books, but she was writing her own at the same time.
So that was before she blew up as a writer, right?
Right, because so what she was doing was like basically...
It was parallel.
She was literally moving.
Well, and that happens a lot. A lot of writers really start out as editors, right? And she's a Howard grad, so we know that. And she taught school, right? Didn't she taught school?
Yes, like her, like the totality of like who she is. Like once you see the documentary, it's like, oh, you see it.
So go see the documentary and let's talk about it.
And if you're in Washington D.C., I believe it's still playing at the East Street Cinema. Mm-hmm. Is where I saw
you
it.
Have to you
before it goes on Netflix.
Before it goes on Netflix, but you have to be able to. Every person, not just black people, everybody should be able to say they read at least one of her novels. I mean, the poise it in which she writes is undescribable.
Right, but
it's undescribable.
But the way she tells the story, it's like she has another vision. A different vision.
And do you notice that she never ever describes in her book? She never describes the characters.
That's interesting. I haven't
she
thought
gives
about
you
that.
I've read every book of hers. She gives you no. She might say She gives you no description of the characters.
That's interesting. That's
You
interesting.
have to
imagine.
You have to imagine what they are, what they look like. She does not describe them.
Wow.
She's a genius.
I remember, and actually, her book, the book that's out, that just came out earlier this year, is like a collection of her essays and lectures and all that. And the one that I'm just starting to read is, the speeches she gave at Brown, which was just phenomenal. So anyway,
I
check
want
it
the
out.
black book. That's the one I want. Baby, I went on Amazon to look at the price.
All her stuff is gone.
The price for the black book, which was like a limited edition book.
Oh, I don't remember that.
What she did was she had taken all these collections. They talk about it in a documentary that she had taken all of these archives of like black history. This is before the African American Museum. She had like documents of like slavery documents, and so I mean it was like a archive of like black historic stuff, and she put it in a book and published it. I think it's called The New Black Book or The Black Book, something like that.
Look out for that.
Baby, I went to Amazon. $949.
I don't have $949.
I said, all right.
You get it, and then I'll come over and read it
I'll
at your
flip
house.
through your table,
right?
table page.
I'll borrow it.
I love you, Miss Morrison, but not $945.
Not today.
All right.
We see Shaquita Lee. We want to wish Shaquita Lee the best.
Is she signed on? I see.
Shaquita's on, and she
Tamisha
is.
Iman
is on.
I didn't see.
We wishing Tamisha the
Jasmine
best.
Blue, Nicole Scott, Antoine Wilson.
Shaquita's about to delve into new big.
Come on, Shaquita. Shaquita is the businesswoman of DC.
Well,
I give grace where grace is due.
You have to respect the ladies.
The hustle.
Her hustle is everything.
And the hard work that she puts into everything she does, and we're wishing her.
Shaquita, come on and tell us about it.
And come sit and tell us your story.
That's right. All right. So let's go to what's hot. So Pose, have y'all been watching?
Baby.
Pose? Did we have an image for that? That was Billy Porter, that outfit was kind of over.
Can I tell you?
Yeah, it's cute.
How Pose.
And we can take it down now.
This entire season.
Well, they're taking it to another place.
Has been when I take
Tony, have you caught up yet? Are you on season 1?
Okay.
No.
So to me, this is what you do.
Watch this.
To me, this is what you do when you've been given an opportunity to have a platform, and the first season everybody lived for, and then you have a following. The question is, what do you do with your platform when you get it? Right. And this is a prime example. Season 2 is a prime example of everything great that you can do once you realize that you have your platform. And y'all
thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Robin.
I think the show is getting better, actually, and I think it's hard to carry those storylines.
It should get better because they have a budget now. They can pay for it.
I will say the makeup on everybody looked a little fiercer last night. I said, "Oh, so what's going on? We done up the ante on the looking."
I just want to say I want to go back to what I said before. This season, them hoes ain't playing.
Oh yeah, it's been great.
When they started off the first 15 minutes of the very first episode of season 2. I was like, y'all trying to pull tears, and we just got started.
Oh, yeah.
So here we are this week. They dived into relationships,
multi-generational relationships,
sexual dynamics between the elder and the
cougar, the male cougar.
Y'all did that.
Yeah, I thought it was
good.
Yeah,
it was, and it was phenomenal. And the reason why I think when the writing is phenomenal,
hey Ronald,
it allows you to look at every character's perspective and at least have some kind of compassion for each person in their perspective. And I think that's what this episode.
Well, they're carrying the storyline really well. I mean, because you got a number of characters, and they're still keeping all of the characters, updated and fresh, which is really good. And the writing is seamless. The performances are getting better.
That's important. That's important. I was explaining because apparently someone put on Facebook today, is every gay person watching Pose? And I said no. And I didn't mean to be controversial. And someone approached me about it at the Ask Racine show just a few minutes ago. And I finally turned around and looked at him and I said, look, I don't watch a whole lot of TV. However, it's not a bad thing that I don't watch Pose, but I know it's a very.
But you lived it.
I lived through that.
That time frame, you could probably write that.
I can pretty much recite the story.
That's right.
But but also, and I don't necessarily. I have a hectic job, a very busy schedule.
I'm with you.
I don't want to go. And I know I know that show, and I know who I am. I'm a very emotional and a very sensitive person.
Oh, it's a tearjerker.
It would weigh me down, and I probably wouldn't get a night's rest.
It
so
would.
I'm gonna watch Pose when I go on vacation.
Binge watch, right?
When I'm when I'm on a staycation, and I watch it, but I can't watch it and then be able to sleep. It'll be like a night. It would be like a like I can't watch horror movies because I can't sleep because I start reliving them.
Oh.
So yeah.
Horror movies make me laugh, actually.
But movies
I'm like, girl, don't go in there. You dumbass. You went in there. Okay.
But shows that are so like that's really heavy and stuff like that, it will also do the same thing. So
yeah, so I mean, and it was the same thing said about When They See Us. Like you had to be.
I haven't watched. I haven't got the nerve to watch.
You have got to be.
I know.
Yeah.
I got to be in the mood.
Prepared.
I cannot.
Because if you start and you're not mentally prepared, like I know people who got through the first episode and was like, okay, I need a break. I can't
But certain things, like even 12 Years a Slave, I only needed to see that once. I sat through it. I said I never need to see that again.
It broke me down.
It did. I don't need to see that
I'm gonna tell you. I learned what I can take in the movies, and reading is different.
Right.
It's different reading. But I remember when I went to see The Color Purple when it first came out.
My all-time favorite movie.
It's a great movie.
Right.
But I also remember leaving that theater feeling like I had the weight of the world on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And so now I'm selective as to not necessarily not wanting to see it, but when I'm going to give it my time.
Right. Yeah.
But
I need to go see one of the adult cartoons, like what is it, Hobbs and whatever.
Something like that. But we will say,
mindless.
But we will say that we're happy. I'm happy. Like Swerve is on because I think it's important that because there's a generational piece of the puzzle that's missing. Stories need to be told and need to be handed down, and these stories are being told, and these younger kids that's coming up now understand the history, they understand the struggle, they understand, because because I know they don't have it easy.
Well, hopefully they're watching it and they understand that these things actually happen.
These things actually happen. So I think it's
This
very,
stuff
very
happens.
important.
Right.
Thank you, Christian. That was very kind of you. Thank you so much.
Hey, Ronald Austin from what's it called?
He forgot Ronald.
No, Ronald, their show on Tuesdays. Open bar.
Oh.
Right, they do open bar.
Oh,
show on
yeah.
Tuesday. Anyway.
Yeah, Ronald.
That's my buddy. All right, all right. Oh, Ron, I got to tell you about the Sigma convention, man. The guys were great. I had a good time there.
Yeah, he
It
got
was
his
wonderful.
life.
Whatever. Anyway.
Yes.
So that kind of party. All right. So the Trans March is back on. I don't know if you remember when we had Atcham on.
Yes.
We talked about it. Did we have that image? September 28th.
Okay.
Here in D.C., Trans March on D.C. So that should be interesting. Watch out for that. And then we got Birmingham Black Pride going on in Alabama, y'all. August 15th through the 15th.
They need that.
Right. I forgot all about it.
We
This is a
should
series
fly
of
down.
prides.
Have we ever been to Birmingham?
I've been there for the classic Alabama.
I've never
State
been
and
to
Alabama
Birmingham.
A&M.
My sister, Miss
I've only been to
Sophia-
Huntsville.
That classic is over.
Is it?
That classic is the Black football classic.
Okay.
My sister Sophia Buttercup is in, I think, Birmingham.
Really?
Sophia?
Yes, Sophia Buttercup. She's
in Birmingham now.
Can we just talk about, since we're talking about Birmingham?
And I want to go to the museum.
Can we just talk about how
Somebody
fierce-
correct me if
can-
it's
can
not
we
Birmingham.
talk about how fierce drag is in Birmingham?
Is it?
Oh God, yeah.
The legends come, baby. The legends
I didn't know that.
come out of
In
Birmingham.
or do
Baby, no, they come out of Birmingham. They come out of Birmingham.
What is what's the root of that?
Baby,
is it someone doing the coaching?
Go.
No?
Baby, the legends. All right.
It's in the corn.
Baby, it's something. Because the babies, they come.
I'm sure it's big hair and everything.
Bodies.
Really?
Titties. Ass.
Clothes.
We gotta do something on that. Why?
Garments.
What's happening in Birmingham that's producing all the divas?
I don't know, but they slaying. I'm living.
All right. Okay.
Garments is the South period.
Oh, really?
What is the South?
Because they say Atlanta's really at the hub of it.
Well,
is
what
that
happens
just where
is
they all go to Atlanta?
Now, I could be wrong, but what happens is I think they all go to Atlanta.
Right.
It ain't the folks from Atlanta.
But when I say that, meaning, so like when you follow the world of pageantry and you know some of the heavy hitters and the legends, and then so when you start finding out like, oh, this person's from, and this person's from,
And Yasmin from
person's
Birmingham.
all of y'all from Birmingham. Oh yeah. And it shocked me because
Do they know
I
each
did
other?
not,
Like, did
yeah,
they come
all
up
know each
together?
other.
Right,
They
right.
all know each other, but I did not know. Like
It's a
it was
tight-
like, wow, all of y'all from Birmingham.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's
I was
interesting.
just
We
shocked.
had to find out.
So
the
for
root
me,
of
it
that
put
is.
Birmingham on the map.
Well, y'all, then there's also Jacksonville has Black
Yay,
Pride
my
coming up.
Adobe brothers are in charge.
When is that? Oh,
of
really?
this.
August 7th
yes.
through the 9th.
Yes.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Yes.
Jacksonville, Florida.
And I don't think I've ever been to Jacksonville,
I
Florida.
have.
This is
Really?
going to be fire.
Yes, I
Did you
have.
stay long?
No, I did not.
Shade.
That's not a read. I just didn't stay long. I did not mean that as a read. I just didn't stay
Oh,
long.
this is my cousin.
I passed through.
So yes,
South
I'm
is the new Black progressive. Okay, yes, it is. We're gonna all move back down there at some point.
I'm super excited for Jacksonville Black Pride.
Okay, are you going?
No, I wanted to go so bad, but I'm not.
I didn't really hear
but
much about the
what they
Black
are-
Prides around the country. I don't really hear much about them. Do you anymore?
They're really excited about
No.
us sending. So you'll find if you're going to be at Jacksonville Black Pride.
I sent some magazines.
Yeah, they are super excited to have Swerve there.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to also just make a quick point. The Baltimore, I can't remember the name of the place. I meant to get it, but
Buns?
my cousin works there, and he sent me a pic. He said your magazine is all over my office.
Oh, good.
Yes, and
This issue was it? This issue?
This
Okay.
issue, and he took a picture.
Were they
of it.
giving it away?
He took a picture of this issue, the cover, and then turned it to my picture. He said, "I'm so proud of you."
Aw.
Tell them send money.
We have to have him on one
Accolades
day.
are
He's the
nice.
person who he's the person he talks to the people who are transitioning. Into,
Really? Oh,
yeah,
we'd
he's
love
a
to.
very
Let's do
interesting
it. Let's
young
do
man.
it.
Very
Let's
interesting
do
young
it.
man.
Shout out to Sean Randolph who is on. Shout out to
Hey,
JJ. Hey
JJ.
JJ.
Gary Boone's my
And
cousin
Teresa
from
just gave
Seattle.
us some history, Birmingham
Yeah, I
history.
didn't know
Benny
Mosley is from Birmingham.
owner
Oh,
of
Benny was from
Yes.
Birmingham.
I did know
from
that.
Birmingham.
Mhm.
It's a major city. Somebody else. Yasmin is from
Yasmin
Birmingham.
Campbell Starr, Ian Starr.
Who's from Birmingham, y'all? Shout out who's in Birmingham. You from Birmingham. You watching us.
Tamar Chevalier is from there
They
too.
got good food in Birmingham. I know that.
Oh, yeah, there's the barbecue.
In Birmingham, it's not far from New Orleans, right?
Right. Well, it's a
Because-
couple hours.
It's a couple of hours because the reason why I said that because I was in New Orleans and this huge white guy and I was eating. I kept going to this one place and he told me, he said, "You must like the food down here. You're a tourist, aren't you?" I said, "Well, no, I'm not a tourist, but I am not from New Orleans. But please do not call me a tourist. How dare you?" And he said, "Where are you from?" I said, "DC." He said, "Well, that's why you don't like the tourist label." And he said, "Well, I'm just asking because if you love the food in New Orleans," he said, "and everybody loved the food in New Orleans." He said, "I'm gonna give you a little piece of advice." I said, "Well," he said, "get in your car and drive that way and go up to Birmingham."
To Birmingham.
He said, "I'm telling you some good stuff." I said, "Oh, okay."
So Birmingham's the place to go.
That's what he told me.
All right, so we
I
got
think
one
we
more
should do a
item.
foodie tour.
We got one more item. We got my dear friend, David Clements is running for Memphis City Council. So y'all, when is the election? Early voting starts September 13th through the 28th. Election day is October 3rd. He's openly gay, police officer, married, great guy. He and his mother publish The Unleashed Voice, which is
that's right.
a periodical.
We spoke about him on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he's been
and Racine's a writer for him. For
Yes,
their magazine too.
Racine writes for a couple people.
I'm not mad at the hustle.
I'm mad at it
I
too.
ain't never mad at her hustle.
But look, so then, but he's been receiving some negative backlash from some people, especially some black folks who don't want to vote for him because he's in the life. Can you believe that? He's a police officer.
Oh, yeah, I can believe it.
I can believe it.
Yeah, why
I
can't
was
you?
like,
I can believe
what?
it. People are stupid.
What's going on?
People are stupid.
And I think he leads their LGBT police liaison. I think he's their lead. Great guy. So we gotta send him some money. If you got $10 and you hear my voice, send David Clements some money because it takes money to win elections.
Baby,
y'all.
first of all, can we just say that's real huge coming from Jamil because Jamil wants you to send us money.
I give money away. That's the problem. I do. I've given him some money. I sent money to Obama. What's her name? Kamala Harris.
Right.
I've sent a $10 because you know
Strange.
what? Because if you win, I need you to know that I'm on file as a supporter.
Exactamundo.
So when I asked you for something, I gave. See.
But you know what? If we could go back just to the importance of the Trans March because
Let's go back to the Trans
in
March,
Washington
y'all.
D.C. because
September 28th.
Yes, and just I think it was this past week, maybe Thursday.
Oh, we had another incident here
with Alicia Lowe.
With Alicia Love.
Did y'all know Alicia Lowe?
Yes,
She's a
we
former
do.
Black national princess.
Oh no. Because she was working at the Eagle, I heard.
Yeah,
She is. She's a manager. She's one of the managers.
Another mindless incident.
Senseless, and senseless.
Is she okay?
She seems to be okay. She was on the news, so she seems to be okay. But we want to make sure we want to give her a shout out. Nobody deserves
At all.
No.
And from what I understand, because I know someone who was at the parking lot who mentioned it, who said that they saw it go past.
Oh, really?
But they didn't know that was Alicia Lowe. They wouldn't have known, and said it was a lot worse than it was brutal.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we don't know what led up to that, or but
said she was just leaving the Eagle and she walked to this.
She said that she went to the
store.
Citgo gas station to the convenience store to get something, and she said that they were because I read part of the article that they were heckling her, and she paid it dust, and she just kind of kept it moving, and then they attacked.
And what's
basically
going on?
in a nutshell.
And the summer is bad.
But that's crazy. But that's so crazy because DC, you really didn't get. I mean, the girls.
No, not like that.
No,
not like that.
No, the girls march in DC.
Right. But the thing is, because it's so open here that chances are someone that's in the life or trans in your family. Right. So you have some empathy usually.
So that's really scary because I remember Gracious used to hightail up them roads, and but so it's scary if that's what this is coming down to, that
that's terrible.
People can't exist.
Well, we wish her the best.
You ain't got
we
to
wish
like
her the best.
You ain't got to like me. Just let me.
Right.
Just
let me be.
Let me breathe.
You got other things to do, and I got other things to do. All right. So y'all, we got a musical spotlight. It's our dear friend Robbie from Atlanta, and he's doing Better Life. So let's run that.
Aren't you tired of tears rolling down your face? Aren't you tired of tears rolling down your face? Saw me riding in my brand new car. Pull me to the side cause you heard I was a star. Oh baby, I know you want a better life. Tell me babe, what's your fantasy? Everything you want ain't always what you need. Oh baby, I promise I'ma love you right.
I'm gonna love you right, baby, forever and ever.
Aren't you tired of tears rolling down your face? Yeah, looking for love all your life, but it's gotta start inside. Everybody running around trying to get rich, make that money fast, lose that money quick. Oh baby, I know you want a better life. So close your eyes, baby girl, and tell me what you see, cause I'm gonna give it to you unconditionally. Oh baby, I promise I'm gonna love you right. Yeah. Are you tired of tears rolling down your face? Yeah. Looking for love all your life, but it's gotta start. Hey, love is what you want, then don't get what you need. Everybody wanna be free. Yeah. Hey, love is what you want, then don't get what you need. Everybody wanna touch, wanna love, then go get what you need. Everybody wanna be free. Love is what do you want, don't getting what you need, but it's gotta start inside, baby, inside, baby. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Aren't you tired of tears rolling down your face? Aren't you tired of tears rolling down your face? Yeah. Aren't you tired of tears rolling down your face? Looking for love all your life.
I liked it.
You gotta see Robbie. You gotta see Robbie live, y'all.
If
He
you have
turns it
not
out.
seen Robbie live is
Hey Robbie.
The video does him no justice.
It does.
Like,
Come see us, Robbie.
He's
And
really
we
one of
played
those
several.
entertainers who's
Actually,
really good.
remember, he was the video that we debuted on our premiere show.
It sounds like Prince.
He's got a lot of Prince influence on, but he's all over the place. Anyway, hats off to you, Robbie. All right, so I had selected a topic for tonight, but we can talk about anything else. But voting, you know, elections are coming up. We got the primaries coming up, but our folks, it's only like 60% we're hovering over about, and they say that's good. But what do you think is the problem with us on our community not voting?
Stupid.
Well, we know some people
I'm just kidding.
are
I'm
not as
kidding.
smart as others.
I'm
Let's just say
kidding. I'm
that.
just being fun. But I just think people have unplugged from the whole political process.
But don't you see the consequences of not voting?
Well,
I mean,
hopefully,
aren't they real? Are you with us?
I'm here.
Today?
Hopefully, that's why we're at 60%, which is
But
a lot
shouldn't we
higher.
be higher?
Shouldn't
Shouldn't it be like 90%?
We're going to get there. We're going to get there because Trump going to say something stupid that's just going to scare people.
Well, he's already said something stupid.
But you got to believe a lot of black folks like some of that stupid stuff that he's saying because a lot of them feel, like what's that chick's name that challenged Cardi B to a debate?
Who challenged Cardi B to a debate?
The black woman, the black conservative.
Candace, what's her name?
Yeah, for $250,000.
I'm like, girl, are you getting? But did she challenge Roland Martin to
No.
the debate?
What she what Cardi B? What
She
Cardi?
wouldn't even go on his show.
What Cardi B told her, girl, take your $250,000 and give it to a charity, and leave me alone.
Well, first of all, did you have $250,000?
Exactly.
She's just someone that they put up to say stupid
Well, and
stuff.
I mean, I have
Everybody have an opinion. I don't have a problem with black Republicans.
I don't have a problem with black conservatives either, but come on now, let's be honest. And what's going on with Moscow Mitch?
Moscow Mitch is he is a Russian ambassador who wants to cheat us. And
They all in cahoots.
You know, he had surgery last 2 weeks.
And he
fell,
made it?
hurt his back.
He made it through?
Oh yeah.
He fell at a party.
He fell at something, right? Is that what
he
it
was?
was?
Drinking vodka.
Sveka.
Russian vodka.
Sveka.
He was really been out of shape about that title.
Well, because it hit home.
I'm
When
like,
somebody hit home with something they say to you, don't you get bent out of shape?
And Scarborough just says it over and over and over again. Joe Scarborough, that's what came up with it on a morning what is it? Morning Joe. Morning Joe.
Well, he's a disgrace, and this
said
and we really
Moscow Mitch.
And this is an example of why they really need to reconsider how
The Electoral College.
Well, not even
that too, but
that
term
too,
limits.
but I'm talking about the term limits and how the division of power is spread around, because
term limits.
this man has too much power.
Well, and he's up for election. We'll see what happens in Kentucky. But the folks in Kentucky are poor. They don't have health care. They don't have health care.
Kentucky,
they losing jobs.
Kentucky is the
You got
poorest.
exactly what they asked for.
The Kentucky
I think
is
Mississippi
the
is.
No. They just came out that Kentucky is the poorest state in the country. They said Kentucky. The entire state of Kentucky does not have a third of the wealth that Baltimore has. But you all, yes, they have a third of the wealth that Baltimore has. And you all are sitting there, are you really Baltimore?
they got problems in Kentucky.
And they also said that he said that Baltimore's rat infested. I said D.C. is the
but we got the
biggest
most
rat infested city.
New York's not bigger
no,
than
it said
us?
D.C. has more rats than any other city in the country.
Dude, we got rats. The rats are out. Look,
per capita.
Go
yes.
to DuPont Circle at night in that park. The rats are walking
Oh,
around
Jamil,
like
you was in the park at night?
Not that park.
They
Near the
be
fountain.
doing-
The rats are like, "What you looking at?"
If you ain't from D.C., you better watch out. when
They
you
like
come.
move.
They be doing shows.
They do. The rats are like
They look like cats.
walking
And
around
they-
like they walking around like squirrels and stuff.
then they said that and one of the buildings that's in D.C. that is infested with rats, it's the White House.
I'm not surprised though.
Well,
That didn't
yeah.
shock
Well,
me.
Georgetown used to have a major rat problem in Georgetown, D.C., which is the sort of
Well, that's coming from the
upscale.
reservoir.
Right, because it's a swamp. It's their land. It's really the rats' land. It's a
I
swamp.
remember when I lived over here in right by Howard University, and my apartment had mice. I'm just gonna say,
Of course, over here.
we was over by the reservoir. Well, what happened was when the guy, I was going crazy, and the exterminator came. And he said, "Bruh, let me tell you something. This ain't nothing." He said, I see full-on rat families in Georgetown.
Sure.
In those mansions in Georgetown. He said, full-on. They have full-on rats in those houses.
Oh, yeah. Clearly. It's the land. Hey, Roland. Ronald's on. All right. Well, we were supposed to talk about voting, though, but what are your thoughts? Because we got primaries coming up. I mean, where are the voter registration drives? I haven't seen anything. Have y'all seen anything?
I really. This is the thing. I think
now is the time.
I think that people are. As you said before, I think that people are burnt out. I just think that people are.
But it ain't just election, but we ain't been voting for a minute.
I get it. I know.
Since Obama, that's the last
we
one
have
we
been
had.
on. We have just been on a cycle of nothing but election since.
You think so? But folks haven't voted, and they say, I think our percentage of voting, where the percentage of registered black voters, the highest amount that voted was with Obama. I think it was 68%, something like that. But imagine if we were at 80%, we would determine who's gonna win because we vote as a block. If black folks voted at 80%, you can't win without us.
You also have to understand that there are a whole bunch of systematic trickery. So if you're talking about people who may have had some kind of felony record who cannot vote. You see what I mean?
We're changing it, but it ain't. I'm talking
layers.
about registered voters. Well, you know, they do the thing with they switch the polling thing. They switch the hours. They want to not let us vote on Sunday because they were doing the churches to the polls on Sunday. Early voting. They want to limit that. You show up at the polls and only one of the machines is working.
Well, yeah,
that sort of stuff.
The reality is, I mean, we can say there's some people who just don't believe in the system anymore, and some people never believed in the system. So, I mean, to be honest, she's not online, but she probably would kill me for saying this. But my mother, for the longest time, in our family, my grandmother,
they wouldn't vote.
My grandmother,
you kidding me? My father took us to the polls. I vote everything.
My grandmother and my grandfather.
Dog catcher.
My grandfather was very, very adamant about voting.
He would vote.
Yes, he was an adamant voter.
Everything.
And so was my stepdad, Larry Stoney's. He was very much a voter. So those two were the people that I would watch. They would be so into politics, and I'd be like, whatever.
And we used to work the polls.
And my mother would be like,
we would work the polls, give out flyers and stuff.
My mother would give very much, my vote don't count anyway. They gonna do
it does.
Anyway.
No, it counts.
And it really it took when I really threw myself when Barack came along, and I threw myself in and was like really into it and gang ho. I was pushing my mother like, look, lady, no, you're gonna have to do something. So literally,
and I vote in everything.
So now it is a tradition. Me and my mother have a tradition now that every time election season comes, we get up together and we go.
You'll go have breakfast. You'll go to breakfast and go to vote.
We go eat after.
Oh, okay.
But we are like first in line. That's like our mother's son time.
District, that's our bonding. The district is Democratic already, dude. Nope, that's never gonna be Republican. Nothing. We ain't gonna have no.
No, don't say that.
but you know,
stranger things have happened.
But they said
when
Texas,
I see them riding their bikes in Deanwood, I don't
baby.
know.
Go. And Trump is president, so stranger things have happened.
They don't vote here. They vote. They just here working with the administration. They vote back in Texas and all that stuff.
Okay.
Is that what the administration is from?
But
Texas?
you know, they say Texas might switch over next year, the next election. They said it's tipping.
Well, they said
Georgia's going to tip. It's just a matter of time with Georgia. But Texas tips. That's it.
They said it may tip. But
it's right on.
May tip because there are a lot of people, a lot of the politicians,
the Latinos,
a lot of them are retiring out.
That's
they're
right.
coming out.
Oh, the Republican ones are retiring because
you have a whole new slew of like.
Well, it's not even that. No, but the Republicans, you know, a lot of them are retiring because they don't want to defend
Trump.
They can't run on that record, right? So they're like, later for this, I'm gonna get out while they're getting this good.
While it's getting this good,
get them out however you get them by any means necessary.
That's
Bye.
right. That's right.
Deuces.
So anything else going on y'all want to talk about? No, nothing. Pose. We already talked about that.
Talked about Pose. I am. Oh, by the way, just for the record.
For the record.
So we already know that Pose got its nominations for first season.
Oh, for Emmys?
Yeah, for
they
Emmys.
haven't had the Emmys yet.
No, they haven't had the Emmys, but they got their nominations.
Okay.
Trust and believe. The Candy episode.
Oh, that was a great.
Will be nominated.
That was a great
for
one.
an Emmy.
Right.
Oh, good.
This episode that
so?
just happened this week has a strong possibility of being nominated.
I heard it was good.
But that Candy episode, that whole episode is going to be nominated.
Yeah, and she's and actually,
and Candy's probably going to be nominated.
I think she's going to be doing something at the transgender march.
She probably
is.
I
think
she probably will be.
She's like Angelica Ross.
A lot of people did not know that the part of the reason why they wrote her off. Her character off is because it will be on American Horror Story.
She's on another show.
She's America's Horror Story 1980.
But if we have just one quick minute, I just want to really quickly, and she's here while she's on supporting. I just want to give a shout out to Robin Robinson. She's
Hey,
done
Robin
fabulous
Robinson.
things in Washington, D.C.
Do I know Robin Robinson?
You don't know her, but you will know her.
Okay.
She's doing fabulous things in Washington, D.C.
What does she do?
She owns a vintage store, and she has vintage tea parties.
Yeah, she's.
You told us about her, right?
And
Vintage tea
they are
parties.
the hottest thing on Kennedy Street.
When do we get invited?
We need to come, and you should check her out. Vintage Glam on
Vintage Glam
on Instagram.
On Instagram,
and
Vintage Glam.
she's on Facebook, and you can book your gig up at her.
Oh, really? We can host
she
her
does
in?
art. She does art shows. She does book signings.
Oh, because I want to do a show with my brother Tony. I want to do an art show with him.
Well,
sometime.
you need to call Robin.
Yeah.
Hey,
She
Robin.
does whole. It's a beautiful space. It's all vintage. It's all
In D.C.
Yeah.
Y'all got to move to D.C.
So
I'm telling
D.C.
y'all.
is a fabulous thing, and we really need to. We want to support that.
So,
All right. Well, y'all, we're going to wrap up. Thank y'all for joining us. And next week, who's our guest next week? Ian?
Next week, our guest is Ian Edwards. He's a skincare
Specialist.
esthetician.
Guru.
And what's his line called?
No.
He changed it?
Now it's called Sixth Floor.
Sixth Floor.
Floor. All right.
And it's going to be amazing.
So he's going to give us some products?
He's going to bring some products. He's going to give us some products. He's going to talk about
Mine is natural, y'all. I don't need products.
Black skincare. And I'm really excited about having this young man on.
All right.
It's interesting because we featured Ian before in Swerve Magazine.
Yes, we have.
Ian is a part of the Swerve family, and I'm super excited to have him here, too, because his story is amazing.
All right. So, Ian, we'll see you next week. Join us next week, y'all. Toodles.
See ya. Deuces.
Peace.
Listen vision, listen vision, DC's #1 recording studio.